In a world where we are constantly connected and surrounded by external influences, it's easy to become reliant on others for validation, security, and support. Whether it's seeking approval in personal relationships, depending on others for financial stability, or relying on social validation to feel worthy. Many of us are taught that freedom is found in the approval of others or external circumstances. However, Stoicism teaches us a very different path, one based on self-reliance. Epictetus offers us a powerful truth when he says, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." True freedom, according to Stoicism, is not dependent on external factors or the approval of others. It is found in self-reliance, the ability to depend on yourself, trust your own judgment, and remain unshaken by circumstances outside your control. In this video, we will explore how Stoic principles of self-reliance help us gain true freedom, by teaching us to focus on what we can control and to let go of the need for validation and external support. Through self-reliance, we build inner strength, resilience, and the freedom to live authentically and with purpose. Epictetus offers us a powerful reminder with his words, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This quote speaks directly to the core of Stoic philosophy, the idea that true freedom is not found in external circumstances, but in our ability to control our own actions, thoughts, and reactions. In a world where so many things are outside of our control, from the behavior of others to the uncertainties of life, Stoicism teaches us that freedom is found by focusing only on what we can influence and letting go of the rest. When we rely on others for validation, support, or security, we give up our personal freedom. Self-reliance is the Stoic solution to this dilemma. By developing the ability to trust ourselves, our values, and our ability to make decisions, we gain true freedom. Freedom from the opinions of others, freedom from external circumstances, and freedom to live authentically. Epictetus' profound insight, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control," highlights one of the most essential Stoic truths: true freedom is found within. In a world where we are constantly influenced by others' opinions, societal pressures, and external circumstances, it's easy to fall into the trap of relying on others for our sense of worth, security, and validation. However, Stoicism teaches us that freedom is not something external. It is internal, rooted in self-reliance and the ability to act according to our own principles and values. The cost of external dependency: the more we rely on external sources for validation or support, the more we give up our own autonomy and personal power. Whether it's seeking approval from others, depending on external circumstances for happiness, or relying on someone else for emotional stability, we place our freedom in someone else's hands. This creates a fragile foundation for our well-being because, as the Stoics remind us, we cannot control what others think, say, or do. The Stoic path to self-reliance: Stoicism teaches that self-reliance is the foundation of true freedom. By focusing on what is in our control, our thoughts, actions, and values, we free ourselves from the fluctuations of external circumstances. We no longer need the validation of others to feel worthy, the security of external factors to feel safe, or the support of others to feel strong. Instead, we rely on our own resources, our inner strength, character, and wisdom. When we embrace self-reliance, we gain true freedom because we stop depending on things we cannot control. We recognize that our happiness, peace, and sense of purpose come from within, not from the opinions of others or external circumstances. This independence is the key to resilience and emotional strength, enabling us to live authentically, without being swayed by outside pressures. How Stoicism builds self-reliance. Focus on what you can control. The first step in building self-reliance is recognizing what is within your control. The Stoic dichotomy of control teaches us to let go of things that are beyond our influence. Others' opinions, outcomes, and external events. We have no control over these things, so they shouldn't define our emotional state or sense of freedom. Instead, we focus on our thoughts, our actions, and our decisions. When we take full responsibility for what we can control, we reclaim our personal power. Trust in your own judgment. Self-reliance means trusting your own judgment and decisions. It's easy to seek validation from others, but true freedom comes when we trust ourselves and our ability to make wise choices. The Stoics encourage self-reflection and personal accountability. When we take ownership of our decisions, we build confidence in our ability to navigate life's challenges independently. Detached from external validation, the need for external validation is a common obstacle to self-reliance. We often seek approval, praise, or recognition from others to feel secure in ourselves. Stoicism teaches us that our self-worth should not be tied to others' opinions. We must rely on our own sense of purpose and integrity. By focusing on what truly matters to us, our values, principles, and actions, we detach from the fleeting nature of external validation and develop a deeper sense of self-worth. Practice resilience in adversity. Life will inevitably present challenges. Self-reliance doesn't mean avoiding difficulty. It means facing adversity with resilience and inner strength. The Stoics taught that we should embrace obstacles as opportunities to strengthen our character. When we rely on our inner resources, wisdom, courage, and patience, we build the emotional endurance needed to overcome obstacles and stay true to our values. Commit to personal growth. Self-reliance is rooted in the continuous pursuit of personal growth. The Stoics practiced daily reflection to ensure they were on the right path. By committing to constant improvement, learning from failure, and embracing new challenges, we develop a sense of independence that is based on our ability to evolve. The more we invest in our own growth, the more self-reliant and empowered we become. The true freedom of self-reliance when we rely on others for validation, security, or support. We place our freedom in someone else's hands. We become dependent on external circumstances that are often beyond our control. But when we embrace self-reliance, we free ourselves from this dependency. We learn that true freedom comes not from external validation, but from internal strength, personal responsibility, and the courage to live authentically. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation. It means trust in yourself and your own ability to navigate life's challenges. It's about finding strength in your own values, not in the approval of others or the circumstances around you. When we stop depending on external factors to define our sense of self, we build a life that is truly free. In a world filled with constant noise and external pressures, it's easy to fall into the trap of relying on others for validation, support, and security. Whether it's seeking approval from family, looking for recognition at work, or depending on social media for a sense of worth. We often look outside of ourselves for the affirmation we believe we need to feel secure. Yet, the Stoic path teaches us that true freedom is found not in relying on external sources, but in self-reliance, the ability to depend on our own wisdom, values, and actions to shape our lives. Epictetus taught us that freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. This statement is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. We cannot control others' opinions, circumstances, or outcomes, but we can control our own thoughts, actions, and decisions. Self-reliance is the foundation of true freedom. It's about recognizing that we have the power to determine our own path, regardless of what others think or external events that might unfold. The pitfalls of external dependency in our modern world. Many of us are conditioned to seek external validation, whether through praise, recognition, or approval from others. This can be particularly evident in the age of social media, where likes, comments, and followers can easily shape our sense of self-worth. The more we depend on these external sources for validation, the more our sense of self becomes tied to things outside of our control. When we rely on others for approval or security, we lose our sense of self-mastery and autonomy. Self-reliance is about realizing that we do not need external approval to feel worthy or secure. Instead, we must look inward at our values, principles, and ability to act in line with our best selves. True freedom comes when we no longer seek approval from others, but instead derive our sense of value from our own actions and integrity, building self-reliance through Stoicism. Focus on what you can control. The first step in building self-reliance is to recognize what is within your control and what isn't. The dichotomy of control teaches us to focus only on what we can influence, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes, instead of giving energy to the opinions or actions of others. We direct our focus on how we respond to life's challenges. By shifting our energy to what we can control, we build self-reliance and inner strength. Trust your own judgment. Self-reliance means trusting yourself. It means believing in your ability to make decisions, even when you don't have all the answers. The Stoics practiced self-reflection and personal accountability as a way to trust their judgment and grow in wisdom. When we listen to our own voice and trust our values, we strengthen our ability to act rationally and purposefully in all areas of life, without relying on others' approval or direction. Detached from external validation, one of the hardest aspects of self-reliance is breaking free from the need for external validation. Stoicism teaches us that our worth doesn't depend on others. By focusing on our own actions and values, we let go of the constant need for praise or approval. Self-reliance is the understanding that we are enough simply because we live in alignment with our principles and virtues, not because of how others perceive us. Develop resilience through adversity. Stoicism encourages us to face challenges with resilience and self-control. Life will always present obstacles, but through self-reliance, we learn to approach adversity as an opportunity for growth. The more we confront challenges head-on, with the strength of character, the more we build emotional endurance. When we rely on our own inner strength, we become resilient in the face of adversity. Commit to constant self-improvement. Self-reliance is a journey, not a destination. Stoicism teaches us that we must commit to daily self-improvement through consistent action, reflection, and the cultivation of virtue. Personal growth is built on the foundation of self-reliance. When we focus on developing our wisdom, courage, and temperance, we become the masters of our own fate, the reward of self-reliance. When we develop self-reliance, we free ourselves from the fluctuations of external circumstances. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation or independence in the sense of disconnecting from others, but it means finding strength within ourselves. Instead of relying on external sources for validation, security, or approval, it allows us to stand firm in our values and make decisions based on our own principles, not on the expectations of others. True freedom comes when we stop measuring our worth by how others perceive us, and instead measure it by how we align our lives with our own virtues and actions. When we trust ourselves and rely on our inner strength, we become unshakable, no longer swayed by external events or other people's opinions. As we conclude today's discussion on the role of self-reliance in personal freedom, remember that true freedom comes not from the validation or support of others, but from the confidence and strength we gain from within. Epictetus wisely taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The Stoic path to freedom and self-reliance is about letting go of the need for external validation and trusting ourselves to make decisions based on our own values, principles, and character. When we rely on our own judgment and act in alignment with our values, we gain the freedom to live authentically, free from the fluctuations of others' opinions. Self-reliance doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means trusting yourself and building a life where your strength and stability come from within. So, as you move forward, ask yourself, am I relying on others for my sense of worth or security? How can I become more self-reliant in my daily life? By embracing self-reliance and Stoic principles, you will unlock the freedom to live with purpose, authenticity, and inner strength. Thank you for joining us today. If this video resonated with you, subscribe and share it with someone who might benefit from learning how to embrace self-reliance for true freedom together. Let's walk the Stoic path of independence, self-trust, and inner strength.